Egypt plans to cut open the Sahara to pull in the Mediterranean, but what this experiment might lead to has experts terrified. Deep in the Sahara, hundreds of miles from the nearest coastline, lies a vast scar in the earth, the Qattara Depression. Covering 7,000 square miles and plunging nearly 200 feet below sea level, it is one of the lowest, hottest, and most desolate places on the planet. And Egypt now wants to do something so bold it was once dismissed as impossible: cut open the desert and let the Mediterranean Sea rush in. If it works, it'll rewrite Egypt's economy, energy sector, climate, and possibly the entire region. But if it fails, well, engineers have been haunted by the Qattara Depression for more than a century. When the British mapped it after World War I, they immediately saw the potential. It's low, it's massive, and it's close enough to the Mediterranean that one good canal or tunnel could turn the whole area into an inland sea. By the 1920s, geologist John Ball was already pitching the idea of using the elevation drop for hydropower, a natural power plant in the middle of nowhere. Later, the CIA took interest in the 1950s and literally recommended flooding it. Yes, the CIA. They thought it would create jobs, change the climate, and look majestic from space. But from the start, one problem refused to budge: money. This wasn't like building an irrigation canal. This was slicing open solid rock for up to 60 miles, clearing World War II landmines, and dragging seawater across a desert. Then came the craziest chapter. In the 60s, engineer Frederick Basler revived the dream and proposed something unbelievable: excavate the canal using peaceful nuclear explosions. That is 213 underground detonations, each 1.5 megatons. The plan was solid, but reality hit fast. Evacuations, radiation risks, tectonic instability near the Red Sea Rift, and the very real possibility of triggering earthquakes made Egypt shut the door quickly. The idea died, but it seemed like the obsession did not. Fast forward to April 2023. Egypt signs a fresh study contract. New tech, new calculations, new urgency. The country's energy demand is skyrocketing, Nile hydropower has maxed out, and reliance on gas imports is becoming a national headache. So the desert is back on the table. However, this time, instead of nuclear bombs, Egypt has something far more civilized: tunnel-boring machines. The same giants that carved the Suez Canal tunnels and the Cairo Metro. These machines are as long as 14 London buses and weigh more than 140 of them. Egypt has used them before, and they want to use them again. As earlier said, the depression sits at nearly 200 feet below sea level. So once you carve a canal or tunnel, the Mediterranean will pour in without a single pump. Then, the desert heat does the rest. Water evaporates so fast here that the inflow and outflow form a perpetual cycle, a natural engine. That moving water spins turbines, which generate electricity. Basically, hot desert plus seawater equals a mega hydro plant. Calculations from earlier plans suggest up to 5,800 megawatts of power, equivalent to 6 modern nuclear reactors. However, beyond achieving electricity, there's a twist to what Egypt plans to do. Here's the twist: seawater flowing into the depression could also be turned into fresh water. Using reverse osmosis and electrodialysis, the same tech Israel uses for half its drinking water, Egypt could pull clean water straight from the sea. And since the country already operates more than 100 desalination plants, the infrastructure is familiar. Fresh water in the middle of the Sahara is no small thing. Add that to electricity, and suddenly the Qattara Basin becomes a foundation for new cities, farms, and industries. Climate change would also be affected in a good way. If Egypt pushes this through, it becomes the country's biggest engineering leap since the Aswan High Dam. But this isn't just controlling the Nile. This is building a sea. The only question now is whether Egypt will commit the money and courage to actually cut the Sahara open. But if they do, a new blue patch will appear on world maps, right where today there is only burning sand. However, if they fail, it could become one of the largest man-made environmental disasters in history.